Welcome, and thank you for coming to the Strong Island High School Overwatch Invitational. We're unbelievably excited to be a part of history and the first ever high school esports event held at the world-famous NYCB Nassau Coliseum. We have a great program for you today featuring some of the best high school esports Overwatch teams in the country.
We would first like to thank Molloy College for being a pioneer of esports in Long Island. Molloy College is ranked in the top 20 in New York State for their nursing and criminal justice programs, best value, best food, best campus, and the #1 safest school in New York State. Molloy has an esports program in the East Coast Conference and took part in the first ever East Coast Conference Overwatch Championship at the NYCB Live Nassau Coliseum in December, which was also the first ever esports event held at the Coliseum.
Molloy has just opened up a brand new esports facility and offers scholarships for esports. Talk with that admissions executive and their coach Perry is here today. They will also be having trials for the esports team in February.
We would also like to thank Sam Raymond, Brooklyn Sports and Entertainment, and the NYCB Live Nassau Coliseum for believing in amateur esports and providing us this opportunity. We would like to thank Waypoint Gaming for providing all the computers and casting this event. They have a great LAN center at 1100 Stewart Avenue in Garden City and hold tournaments and even Fortnite birthday parties.
We would like to thank the NYXL New York Pro Overwatch Excelsior Team Director of Partnerships, Ben Nickel, for taking time out of his extremely busy schedule to spend the day with us.
Finally, we would like to thank Twitch and Tesla, the amateur gaming organization, from Blizzard and the high school esports team.
Today we have a huge welcome as I introduce from Molloy College, the man that made this all happen, Assistant Vice Principal of Marketing. I don't think so?
No, he's here. No?
Alright,
Go script.
going. Cool. Today's program features some of the best high school Overwatch teams in the country. Bayshore High School and Sachem North.
At one point last season, both teams playing today were ranked in the top 10 at the same time in North America.
We will play a best of 5.
Now everyone at home and in the Coliseum, are you ready? There we go.
Alright, let's introduce the Sachem North Braves.
Sachem North was one of the first high schools in Long Island to have an esports team. Also known for their farm simulator is Ready to Fight. Located in Lake Ronkonkoma, New York, it competes in both League of Legends and Overwatch. They have 24 teams that have participated in 6 seasons in the High School Esports League, have played in the first Tri-Land event in Long Island at Waypoint Gaming, and the first High School Invitational at the NYXL shop in Brooklyn, and the first to play in the NYCB Live Nassau Coliseum. Let's introduce the starting lineup from Sachem North High School. First up, we have Captain Raymond Breakel 2000 Calasabetta. I'm going to butcher some of these, I'm sorry. Next up, Captain Carolyn Deadly Kitten Michaels, Matthew Fox, Alyssa Apollo Kolkowski, sorry, Nick 29096 here, Anthony Zadaka Galetta, Kenny 4301 Kearns, and Dave the Brave Morelli. Let's give it up for Sachem. And their coaches, Christopher and Carrie Dennison.
Bayshore High School is the largest high school esports team in the country with over 160 members. We were the #1 team in New York State and 22nd in the country for the high school esports team. And there were now over 1,600 schools participating. You can follow us on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube, and also Instagram at BSHS Esports. We would greatly appreciate any donations to our GoFundMe page at Bayshore High School Esports Team. For Bayshore, we have Captain Aurora, I Need Healing, Lillian, Joey, BSHS Raz Rosario, Kyle, BSHS L'Oreal Champlin, Brandy Alpha Garcia, Ian, Chewy O2 Sarlo, Dom, Rec, Bostic, Demetrius, Gratius 3 Bostic, Skylar, Bobby Turtle Lampel, Aiden, Odd Gecko Zicuela, Daniel Vaxo Garcia, Matt Bliss Evans, Connor Glass DeGraff, Mike Little Mike Clow, Michael Mike the Gamer Demola, Jason Rivera, and the founder of esports at Bayshore High School, Ryan Raptor Chandler, and of course, Coach Michael Messino.
Let's give a round of applause for Bayshore. Yeah, Bayshore. And finally, is everyone ready for some Overwatch? Alright, awesome. Let's get this game started. Looks like we're going to be entering game. The first map is Nepal. As usual, I'm usually an analyst caster, so I'm not too much of a shoutcaster. So my casting duo here is definitely going to be taking a lot of shoutcasting here. But Nepal, and especially in this metagame, we're going to see a lot of the same, in all honesty, whether it's GOATs with a 3-3 or 2-2-2. So it's going to be interesting to see, especially what players are going to be whipping out in Nepal, as it looks like we're going into Village for our first map.
Definitely, they have this choke point that they have to get past, and having the point in such a confined space can be tricky for both of our teams. But both of the teams can usually capitalize on it. Now, what comp do you think would be best going into this?
I mean, a lot of times, especially with the confined space like Village, you might start seeing some crazy little niche picks like a May or even a Junkrat to control people flowing in, or maybe just stick with the 3-3.
Yeah, we see the Reinhardt on both teams, definitely. We see the Reinhardt, Lucio, any other...
Well, it looks like we're going to be staying away from GOATs, thank God. But a couple of little things that we can focus on, especially because of the fact that looks like Sachem is looking to have a little bit more point presence, whereas Bayshore is going to be looking to really disturb the flow of Bayshore's push.
Yeah, it looks like Bayshore is going to run a Pharah Mercy here in the first round. Wildly Turtle on Pharah, and BSH just Boreal on the Mercy right now.
As both teams start approaching the high ground, we have a little bit of a clash going on, pretty much a battle of the DPS at this point, seeing who can take out who first. It looks like they're going to get Bayshore pretty low there as the main tank Fox is starting to drop low.
Bayshore is definitely coming in clutch with that Pharah Mercy right there. That Pharah Mercy definitely making some nice shots on that Reinhardt.
It's definitely up to Zadokta to be able to take down that Pharah Mercy, as he's one of the only hit scan coming in. It looks like both teams are going to get point pressure, and it looks like Sachem is going to start getting a little bit of point presence here, as it looks like 3 from Bayshore are going to start dropping. 4, and it looks like this point is going to go in control of Sachem.
Definitely not their comp, but it's definitely something that has to be worked out around there. Definitely something wasn't right in that push, but definitely Bayshore can come back from it. Now losing their healer.
That's a stagger, hard stagger. Well, let's see if there's any swaps coming in. It doesn't look like there is going to be a swap, but
definitely going to regroup and try to pick this back up. Looks like their comp is going to work fine. They just have to focus on really getting on that point and taking control of it.
Ults are not too far behind, especially for Sachem and for Bayshore coming in. Bayshore does have that barrage coming in, as they're going to get onto point and see what happens and going on. Again, another trade, keep going on, and it looks like they're actually going to flip the point.
Good defense by Bayshore on here against Sachem right now.
Big purple, looks like they're going to actually be able to counter push. I was actually afraid to see why they gave up the point so quickly, but it looks like they were able to counter push onto the flip, and they might actually be able to flip it back now.
Great job on Sachem's behalf for countering that.
Honestly, because I saw the point flip and I was like, it was either a miscommunication or something. It looks like it was all calculated, and there it is. There's the May from Wobbly Turtle. So it looks like they're going to have to try. The whole point with this comp especially is they're going to have to try and push on. If they can't push on with that May, it's pretty much just a very slow, unneeded, wasted time push.
The May's definitely going to be an interesting pick, and I can't wait to see what the May can do. We've seen May in a lot of comps, and May worked out pretty well in all
looks
of
like
the May. It's a nice hook on the May by Kenny.
It looks like they're going to get pushed back once again, committing the whole hog, and nothing else really. Hopefully they don't overextend, but they're pushing them back and causing them to pretty much back up and see what happens. We have 3 ults, almost 4 on the side of Bayshore. See if they can commit 1 or 2 into this fight as the Reaper's coming in.
Oh, Reaper solo right now.
And that's 4 for Sachem. And again, it looks like Bayshore is going to be getting pushed back to the drawing board, see what they can switch up. This Hog and this Reaper, just having the full-on barrier pressure and everything is starting to throw Bayshore out for the loop.
Sachem's working so well with their comp. Bayshore might have to switch something up.
This might be an overextension from the main tank.
Sees the Doctor with the ult. Oh, ult in, that's 1.
Let's see if they can get anything else for that as the main tank is res back up. Grav is committed to the fight, and to no avail. It looks like they're going to be able to hold on to this. Zarya is next to drop, and we're in overtime, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see if they're going to be able to clean up this fight as the May is trying to stall to see if Bayshore can come back.
Overtime ending really quickly. Here can Bayshore get back on the point, and that's round 1.
Doesn't look like it at all as the emotes are starting to come out from Sachem. Sachem takes round 1 on the ball. I gotta be honest there, you know, I'm definitely one to really look at ult economy, and between both teams, ult economy was definitely something that wasn't really to be worried about. Just looks like Bayshore was sort of outplayed, and even though we had these changes and these comp switches come in, they just couldn't pierce that heavy frontline pressure that Sachem has.
Yeah, definitely. Bayshore's gonna have to work on coming back now. Definitely gonna see if they're switching up their comp time. Now we see that they have a Reaper now instead of the May. And the Reaper was one of the main aspects that Sachem had that Bayshore didn't. So this could come in Bayshore's favor now that they switched up their comp a little bit.
Looks about the same on Sachem's side, except the fact that they are running the Zenyatta now. And let's see exactly what goes on. Both these teams are very brawly on-point teams. There really isn't anything to get much distance as they're gonna clash onto point. Super heavy damage coming down off to the side of Sachem, and we're going to see who is going to be able to drop who first.
Bayshore holding the point strong right now, but Sachem trying to get around this soldier right now, trying to find a way around to get some damage.
Remember, this is how the first fight started anyway. You know, you had Bayshore getting point presence, but then Sachem was able to push in real hard, and there's the first pick off of Bayshore's side as Bayshore decides to take the point, but let's see if they're going to be able to hold one man down. Zenyatta dropping dangerously low as he's trying to back up to be able to get the, and it looks like Zen is going to take out his Zen's counterpart as again, even though they have point presence at the very beginning, that is a very fast coalescence coming off a deadly kitten as they look to flip and secure this point.
His ult charge went up very quickly as we see Zenyatta almost has an ult as well.
They almost have 4, if not 3 ults online for Sachem, and that is absolutely insane.
That was a great comeback from Sachem, being that they did not have the point in the beginning. Bayshore was able to get it quickly, but they could not maintain it.
It looks like it's the same thing that happened on the first point as they're coming back in. They only have the Grav and now the Sound Barrier, and as a huge shatter comes in, and it looks like it's just cleanup time as the Ryan gets stunned, but they really can't do anything else. They have to get out of this fight. They can't keep committing or can't going in.
Definitely have to see what Bayshore's going to do right now. Bayshore's kind of stuck. Bayshore's kind of stuck as
the emotes come out. We don't know if Sachem is starting to throw a little bit of DM in there. See if they're getting a little bit too confident as
there's a Reaper hiding.
Are they going to be able to notice it? They notice the Reaper.
They notice the Reaper. Reaper's getting out of there.
You can't let the excitement get to your head sometimes as the fight is going to start continuing in, and it looks like there's almost a 6 stack on the Bayshore side. See if they can actually get anything as Transcendence is committed in. Well, I don't know why. Oh, the Reaper presence, and it looks like they're able to take out Presence or the Reaper as they push in. That's exactly what goes on.
It looks like they're trying to hold point. They're on the point right now. Only one person left contesting. 3 on the point.
The Doctor is on
Can they get this point back right now? 68% right now. Trying to go for a capture. Oh, and just barely misses that ult from the Reaper.
And
nice
this is where some of my favorite favorite 2 words, ult economy, start coming into play. Whereas they still have a fight after this, but the fact that they committed the Death Blossom and even the Sound Barrier into that fight, and they initiated with the Transcendence because of the Reaper pressure, not to matter how they're going to be able to get in there, they do have the tank ultimates online along with the Brigitte ultimate. Let's see exactly what they're going to get
could come into play. This Reaper coming from behind right now.
And there it is, 2 down for Sachem. Let's see if they're going to be able to flip this as they're going for the Zen. But it's Doctor again in the kill feed, but it looks like even though he gets the kill, they're going to be able to flip this. That was a really good push coming out of Bayshore. Even though they committed the 2 ults, they're still able to hold on to the Shatter, which will probably give them a little bit more time, depending on how they land onto this, to see if Sachem is going to switch anything up. Looks like they're not going to. They're just going to push in.
Now the triple healer thing might not be the best for Bayshore right now. It looks like they're running a triple healer. They're running a Brig right now, a Lucio, and a Zenyatta. Not enough healing. It's more damage.
Definitely, it's definitely focused on damage, and especially with the new patch coming in with the armor being above everything else, we don't know exactly how Brig is going to fare in these in this new meta, pretty much. As again, it looks like the Zen off of Sachen's side is going to drop to Wobbly Turtle.
Blitz has Shadow ready, so all they need is that shield to go down, and there could be a huge Shadow right there. Blitz now pushing up with a low shield right now, probably not the best idea.
Well, it's a matter of, let's see if they can force an ult or two out of Sachem, as they do have one, and someone gets hooked, but it looks like they're going to be able to get out, and as we switch to Sachem's point of view.
Even though they're taking a lot of damage, Bayshore is holding the point pretty well with his triple healing.
Well, they committed the Coalescence in there, and they're not really getting any point presence as Wobbly Turtle goes down. Let's see if they're going to actually be able to get into this. It's a 1-for-1 trade, and it looks like kills are going in the way as Z decides to pop that Death Blossom and is able to get two, and it looks like this might be the end of the fight. All they got to do is get point presence, and overtime is starting to tick down. Are they going to be able to get back in time? We see the Tracer coming out and see if they're going to be able to get there, but not in time, and it looks like Sachem is going to take the first map.
That's a good first game. Good first game. Definitely some interesting comps going on, especially that triple heal.
I'm happy because of the fact that we didn't see Goats. We're able to see a lot of, you know, different compositions coming out of these teams. And I think one of the big win conditions especially was just this Reaper. Reaper's so strong in the meta right now with his changes. In all honesty, the Reaper is probably the win condition, especially for a lot of these teams. If your Reaper is able to take down and split up the team that you're pushing into.
The Reaper was definitely one of the main factors to the damage on these teams. Now, the Soldier could have the Soldier was doing very well,
definitely
but that triple heal must have thrown them off a little bit. That triple heal just wasn't working out. It was focused more on damage and not enough heals.
You're not really able to focus on damage if you're not able to get that point presence in there. It doesn't matter if you have all that damage, the Discord, and all that damage coming through. If you can't capitalize on all those things, you're not really going to be able to do much.
Definitely. They just have to check out their comp next time, I believe. Bayshore, they had a pretty strong defense, but just not the right comp for it.
That's pretty much how it is, and that's a matter of, you know, do you sacrifice ult economy for switches at that point? You know that Sachem is going to pull out this Reaper, is going to pull out this Zen, and all these other heroes. So how do you counter pick against the Reaper? How do you counter pick against the Zarya and all that
having
fun
the
stuff?
Reaper go against another Reaper, that was definitely a smart move from Bayshore trying to counter that. They were getting some picks off, but it just wasn't enough to take out that Reaper.
And definitely just the ults coming out of, I think Deadly Kitten generated like 3 or 4 Coalescence in the fight at one point. And in all honesty, like just amazing ult generation coming out of Sachem and Bayshore as well. But
So we're setting up the next map up right now.
So we're pushing into
Looks like
Numbani.
it's going to be Numbani, yeah. So we're going to have Numbani action after they finish getting ready. So looks like we have Sachem ready. We're just waiting up for Bayshore. Bayshore looks like they're figuring out some comps right now. And then once Bayshore figures out some comps, we're going to see how they do in this next round.
Yeah, and you see Numbani is definitely one of those points where we might start seeing the 3-3, especially from the attacking side, because of the fact that you have one of 3 ways to get through this. You can either go high ground left and just start pushing directly into them, because that's where most teams decide to hold, or you're able to go under, speed boost onto point, and force the defending team down onto the low ground. That's if they run the 3-3. Now, you also have seen things like dive attack, dive defense, stuff like that, and personally my favorite meta. So we'll see if any of these teams decide to commit into the dive, or maybe into something different, but we might end up seeing 3-3.
Yeah, now we have not really seen Goats really in play yet, which I'm kind of surprised about, because Goats is one of those more popular metas that we have not seen yet. So will Numbani be the map that we see Goats played out?
I think one of the big things that change that might start fizzling out Goats is, again, that armor change and the Brigida change, is the fact that now instead of the order being health, armor, shield, it is now health, shield, armor. So even though you get that armor applied, the armor is immediately taking damage. So it's going to start fizzling her out, and this is when you're going to start seeing different triple healer comps. You know, maybe the Zen, the Moira, and the Lucio, or you might just start seeing 2-2-2 come back.
We definitely still have to watch that whole Reaper, because they were running a strong Reaper. Now, McCree could have been a good counter to that Reaper, but they decided to play another Reaper against a Reaper, which probably was not the smartest play from Bayshore. But maybe this map we'll see something different from Bayshore.
Maybe we can see that Cowboy come out, because that is definitely one of the best counters to the Reaper. Once his Wraith is down, or if you can bait the Wraith and then be able to flashbang and get the headshot off, it's over for that Reaper. And that'll force the enemy team to be able to switch. You know, Sachem's going to start having to think, do we continue running this Reaper? Do we want to McCree of our own, or do we just push in?
Alright, it looks like Bayshore and Sachem are both ready, so we're going to be getting into our game shortly. So definitely high hopes for Bayshore right now. Sachem going into this with 1 round up on Bayshore right now. Definitely want to see what's going to happen here.
Now we are running a Overwatch League style best of 3, I believe, if not best of 5. So it's either do or die heal, or it is the fact that after this, best of 5. So we do have the ability to be able to go 2-0 up, and they still have the chance to come back if they decide to go for the reverse sweep. But if they do tie at 1-1 here, then the match after following this might seal the deal at that point. So let's see if Bayshore is going to be able to rally and take this 1-1, or Sachem can be able to come up 2-0. So we'll see exactly what happens.
Bayshore definitely took a little while to discuss those comms and their comp and everything. So definitely they were planning something. Now I want to see what they're going to be running, because it did take quite a while to discuss all that. So they're definitely trying to counter whatever Sachem can throw.
And there it is. My favorite. We're going to be getting the dive coming out of Bayshore. Pretty much full dive. We have the Sombra, the Genji, we have the dive tanks. The healing, on the other hand, though, really isn't a dive-centric kind of support duo coming out of Bayshore. So it's going to be a little surprising seeing as do my eyes deceive me? Is that a Torbjorn?
Is that a Tor?
I think that's a Torbjorn.
That's a Tor from Zadokta.
And it looks like Sachem is going to be setting up for this high ground defense, and with the Torb again. So let's see if Zadokta can make DeFran proud, and see if this Torb actually works. It's probably going to catch Bayshore off guard, because of the fact that they're running the dive, and they're going to be able to push. Are they going to be able to push into this Torbjorn? So let's see as the attacking team starts to come out. It looks like the Sombra is going to be going ahead.
Staying close may not be the best for them right now, but let's see what they have in store.
Looks like they're opting for the low ground push, and I'm pretty sure once they see this Torb turret or they see anything like that, they're going to be able to dive onto this, and it looks like a McCree by Z. Yeah, so they might have learned a little bit. Expecting a Reaper, not expecting the dive, but it looks like Bayshore is going to be taking a little bit of time to really set up this push, and time is everything at this point. With the dive, you're going to have to pick your targets and pick exactly where you're going. The more time you waste, the more time the defense is going to be able to hold, as it looks like they're finally going to get some point presence as the Genji starts punching in.
Genji's still not noticing that turret yet.
That Torbjorn pick is definitely something that's going to catch them off guard, and see if they're going to be able to pick this out, and see if it's going to be able to trade as the Blitz. Nope.
That turret's still very alive, and I think Bayshore has yet to notice that turret, which can be bad for Bayshore. Bayshore has to notice that turret and get rid of it as soon as possible.
It's something with dive, that dive is able to push onto these turrets. Turrets should really be no problem with a dive, but it's a matter of you're going to commit those 2 tanks into that turret, and everyone else is going to be left alone, and that's going to be the go condition. And it looks like we're going to swap off the dive into a more meta. It looks like the Grab Dragon combination is going to be starting coming out as they push high ground. So it was nice to see dive for a little bit, but this is definitely a safer option, especially against the Torbjorn, as he's on 82% to that ultimate.
Trying to get that hook off, missing that hook just barely by a small little peak there.
Big fire strike coming out of Bayshore, as looks like the Shatter is going to miss, and it looks like they're going to pull in the Rhine, but no follow-up on that hook, as one drops and the turret drops from Sachem. See if they're going to be able to push onto this.
Yeah, they just L'Oreal with Lucio right now, trying to keep his team alive. Lucio is he's better for mobility, right now. But how would he do against, this type of comp?
Yeah, and it looks like Bayshore is going to be able to secure this, as they identified the problem, they swapped necessarily, and now they're going to be able to get this this payload. Now it's a matter of if Sachem is going to be able to hold for as long as possible, as 4 minutes are now on the clock for Bayshore's push. Exactly what happened, as Z is going to be able to tag the I need healing Hanzo. So they're down a man, but they still have this payload pushing.
Reinhardt definitely pulling a strong defense right now as he gets the payload up a little bit. Definitely smart how he's holding at that choke point there.
As the Dragon is committed into the fight, looking to split Sachem, and it looks like he catches Deadly Kitten out. And see if they're going to be able to counter push, as the whole hog is coming out of Sachem. See if they can push back on man down. Again,
now,
they're trading
would
down.
be a good comp to run right about now. Those would definitely be a smart move to pull out right about now.
Maybe, maybe not, really. They don't have much to push out as the May is coming out as Dog. That's a questionable switch as more
This
swaps
comp
are going to
is
be coming in.
still working for Bayshore right now. All of them back at their spawn point, which means they have some time to push up the card as much as possible.
I'll call you.
And it looks like swaps again are going to be coming out from Sachem as the Hanzo is now in play. They're still sticking with this May, but we're starting to get closer to a mirror match between the two teams. So now it's going to be come down again to who gets picked off first as 4 ults come online for Bayshore. 99 meters, 0.99 meters in as the Deadeye is able to catch 2 from Sachem. It looks like Bayshore is going to be able to get this point.
Yeah, definitely. They're pushing it up right now. Bayshore holding a strong defense after last game. It looks like payload mounts may be their thing.
I'm starting to question the May pick, especially from Zadokta. That soldier from a match ago was definitely strong. They might want to opt into that instead of the May, especially in these open areas on third point, and they have to hold for 4 minutes in order to be able to push this.
We've seen what Zadokta can do. You know, even though they're not...
there it is, and it looks like he's going to be able to catch out the wobbly turtles.
Zadokta can pull off almost anything that they play, so we definitely have high hope over Zadokta.
And this is where the May starts being strong, be able to split the team in half as they're looking to clean up and be able to put up a defensive hold for this fight. 3 minutes and 36 seconds on the clock with only 41 meters to go for the attacking team. 4 ults online for Bayshore. And almost 2 ults online, almost 2 ults online for Sachem. They don't quite have the combo yet, and neither does Bayshore, but we're going to see exactly what goes down. It's a matter of, again, who gets taken down first, as Bayshore is coming in strong. The main tank is a little bit far behind. Grab comes out from Sachem,
right there, gonna pick up any kills from it. No kills from that grab right there, but definitely inflicting some damage on them right now. Knocking out 2, can we get a third? There goes 3.
See, that was a smart combo that you haven't seen in a long time. As the Dragon from behind from I Need Healing comes in, is able to take out her counterpart. And it looks like the res is going to come in, and
Dragon took out the counterpart, but solo ult.
They might want that ult back, and this is where, you know, the heat of the moment starts coming in. You're not really able to focus on the ult economy, but you're probably going to want that ult back, as now 2 ults are online for the defending team, and only 1 is online for Bayshore. Let's see what they can do as Z is set up on top with that Dragon. See if he's going to be able to get anything out. Space Dragon is about to come up, so that might be the go condition for the defense.
Yeah, you see right now, Bayshore's pushing it up right now. There goes the grab, holding the shield right there. There goes the Dragon.
It's over.
That Dragon and grab. Best combo ever.
Space Dragon is honestly one of the best comps, and the only way to really counter it is if you get that Diva up and running, or if you just keep in tabs of that ult, because the Diva's able to eat one of the 2 ults, hopefully the grab versus the actual Dragon. But, you know, let's see if they're going to be able to commit into
now,
this
someone
fight.
in chat just pointed out that Bayshore used a grab before, but with no Dragon.
They didn't have the Dragon up.
They did have the Dragon. They used the Dragon right after the grab was over. What? Someone just pointed that out in chat.
Yeah, it might have been a communication error, as Z is able to take out Wobbly Turtle, and again, it looks like Shatter is going to come out from Sachem.
Afara might be a good pick in this type of situation.
Yeah, only because of the fact that they don't have the hit scan pressure coming out from the defense, so they might be a good swap.
The only pressure on Afara would be that Hanzo.
If the Hanzo's tracking is good enough, that's pretty much how it would go down, but they might be able to opt into that, or maybe even something to pressure down this shield.
Bayshore has 4 ults right now, almost have 5. They couldn't get a good push in with those ults right now. They have the Nano, they have Deadeye ready, you know. They have a lot of good ults. They Shatter and Deadeye combo.
It looks like they're able to catch Z out of position, and this is go factor for Bayshore as they're going to hold that Deadeye. I'm surprised they didn't pop that when Mercy was caught in. So they're going to continue pushing as Wobbly Turtle is getting stuck. See if they're going to be able to continue to push as Grab is committed, and so is Sound Barrier. 2 drop for Sachem, and it looks like the Shatter once again is going to whiff and get blocked by Fox. Dragon comes in, is able to take out Bayshore's healers, and it looks like Z is on a tear again, being able to secure it.
Going behind. Definitely a smart play from them going behind. They were definitely off guard by pushing that payload.
That Dragon split up the team, so half the team had to push up while the other half of the team had to pull back, and that was a perfect placement on that Dragon in terms
They
of
were able to get a nice push up, but they only have about 1 push left. Lucia going up solo right now. Not the best idea for the Lucia to go by themselves, but the Lucia is feeling out very quickly.
They see them at pretty high ground. I don't think they're going to be able to they're able to get a touch, but he's immediately going to drop as Lucio comes in to continue to try and stall, and just one by one we see the team.
Overtime now, we see the grab.
Big Dragon coming in, and
that
is 4 for I Need Healing.
There's only Kenny left there. They can solo Kenny right now, trying to finish off Kenny really quick. So
Kenny is starting to get kills down.
Kenny was holding pretty well. Bayshore had a lot of people
It's going to give him enough time to come in. Great hold from Kenny as they're going to start recommitting into this fight. Again, this is all or nothing for Bayshore.
Bayshore needs to get the rest of their team back.
They have to get someone on the point. I don't know if...
I don't have words for that.
I do have a letter and a number that I could say, but I'm not going to say it because I don't think it was that. I think it was definitely the pressure just coming out of the defense, able to push them off the point, and that Dragon being able to split them across the point. So I won't chalk it up as a letter number, but you just gotta get someone on that point, regardless of if they're gonna die to the Dragon or not.
Third letter, ninth number, possibly.
Yeah, possibly. Definitely a good push coming out of Bayshore. They were able to get it almost all the way there. So in order for Sachem to really get the 2-0, they're able to. It looks like Twitch chat is might be agreeing with me with that letter number, but I won't say it.
Yeah, we won't say it out loud.
We won't say it out loud.
Respect.
Yeah. But it looks like
now Bayshore got a good push. Now they were pretty good at defending. Now what are they gonna run this time? Let's see. We still have that Lucio running now with Reinhardt. I Need Healing still picking.
It looks like they're pretty much going to opt in for the mirror match. The only difference is that Wobbly is going to pull out the Genji, whereas the Doctor is going to go back on that Soldier. Now, Soldier was super prevalent, a very strong anchor point in Nepal, so if they're not going to be able to pressure down to Doctor, they might end up shooting themselves in the foot at this point, because that's pretty much their go condition with the way he popped off in Nepal. So it's a matter of just being able to get the picks out, being able to identify the problem, which is most likely going to be Doctor and Z coming out. I realize
both teams have held the same point when on defense. Sachem held this point before with a Torb, and now Bayshore's going to hold that same point.
Now the difference between their push and Sachem's push this time around is Sachem is starting out with the Lucio, so they're going to be able to burst right into the point as Sonic Arrow decides to come out from Bayshore, seeing where Sachem is going to opt into, and looks like they're going to go high ground, just barrel directly into the defense.
Where Bayshore is ready for it.
And here comes the fight back and forth between the two teams. As the Lucio might be out of position, but it looks like he's just trying to reposition the enemy team. See who's going to be able to commit into the first pick. It's kind of a split push right here as Lucio's able to get behind them and gets caught out by the grenade.
Down now, losing the Reinhardt, the Doctor healing up quickly.
Now they were able to catch I Need Healing out, and it looks like they're going to be able to recommit into this fight because they do have spawn advantage. But it definitely, I feel like it was more of a miscommunication, especially with that Lucio pushing it from behind, maybe to try and reposition the main tank of Bayshore into the brawly death ball that is Sachem. But just chalk it up to miscommunication as that point, as I Need Healing is on their way back, and they've lost their opportunity to be able to push in with a man down on Bayshore's side.
And Ana does have Nano ready, so we're going to see a Nano somewhere in here. They do have a Genji right now, so they could do Nano Blade.
Oh, looks like the Doctor's going to be able to take down the Genji. Again, that Soldier just putting so much pressure onto Bayshore's team as they're going to start getting point presence. One ticket down already for Bayshore. It looks like the grab is going to be able to come out, holding Bayshore in place. No follow-up on that, but the sound barrier was committed as a huge shatter comes in. Able to clean up the rest. Kenny burning people down, Doctor burning people down as attack vibes is committed, but the Dragon comes in and split the team up. Let's see if they're going to be able to actually hold on to this, and it looks like it's just a brawl on the point. Grab is coming out, and are they going to be able to follow this up? One drops.
Grab was not even being able to follow up. They did use the Nano though.
They did, so they committed a lot of ults to that and to no avail. I don't know if that was just a last second decision or maybe some slots going to be coming out.
Too close, one halfway. That could go good for Bayshore and can't go as well. Sachem too low, about 3 close to getting there all.
I Need Healing dropping dangerously low. They can't lose a man in this push because if they lose that, then it's pretty much just a secured push for this for the attacking team. As Sachem has the Dragon and picks off Glass. There's one support down for Bayshore. They're about to have the Space Dragon up, so they might either commit this combo into this, or they're just going to be able to just rain arrows in and completely split them up as they're starting to back up.
Now Z popping off some nice shots, only level 39, but has the aim insane.
Level is nothing at this point. You have the mechanics down. It doesn't matter if you're level 1 or level 1000. The mechanics are better. It's just going to work. And again, Z able to pick out their counterpart, and They're gonna commit the Grab Dragon into this.
Grab Dragon.
That's it.
Pushed
It's
up
over.
by Sachem.
I don't know if that was needed to secure the fight, but heck, they have a few ults coming back online as Wobbly Turtles. Late stagger on glass. I don't know if that was just to die or just to try and back up. There might be a swap here. Two ults are online now for Bayshore as they're going to try and hold this. They have to hold this point in this corner for 4 minutes and 45 seconds as Z pushes up to try and get a little bit of pressure and start taking space. Let's see what they're going to be able to do, dropping dangerously low, but the support is there. Two ults online for Bayshore. Let's see what they commit. And Z again with the Sonic Arrow, able to pick out glass.
That point is not too far. Remember, they don't have to get completely to the end because Bayshore did not get completely to the end.
The blade is out for Wobbly Turtle, but he's about half health, and I don't know if they're going to be able to. Big Shatter coming in. As the counter Shatter comes in, they might be able to actually sustain this with the Big Shatter, but it looks like everyone's going to start dropping dangerously low. I don't know if they're going to be able to get to that.
That Dragon now coming in from Ivy's healing.
They might not be able to recommit into this as
That
Dragon comes out.
Did not work to their advantage.
And that is it. It looks like Sachem is going to be up 2-0 in the series. Big ults, big DPS play coming out of Sachem. It's absolutely insane. I Need Healing gets to play the game. What could have gone wrong for Bayshore here?
They were holding a good defense, but some of those ult usages, they were not saving them enough. They were too much using a bunch at once, and it was just not.
And it was just mainly chalked up to ult economy at that point. You know, it's a big problem a lot of times when you have ult economy and you have to start communicating which ults you have, because you can't just run in unless it's a final fight. You can't just run in and press Q all around the board. You gotta chalk up these combos. You gotta figure out what you can use in this fight to secure this fight. And that was probably one of the big factors that allowed Sachem to go up 2-0 in the series.
Bayshore definitely has to watch their ult uses, like you were mentioning before. Their ult usages were all over the place. They had ults, you know, combos that could have been done that were just wasted. You know, Bayshore just has to watch out for their combos and when to use them, and they just have to work on getting their ults and saving them.
Yeah, it's pretty much how it works down.
Their gameplay was good, but the combos could have been used a lot more.
Yeah, and even straying away from ult economy, just the DPS on Sachem were on a tear. Z on that Hanzo was absolutely insane, being able to pick out the supports and even the counterpart from Bayshore themselves. So it might be just how do we counter the DPS?
Bayshore watches their ults, I think they can pop off. Bayshore just needs to watch how they're using their ults, when they get it, and go from there. Besides that, they were on good defense. They just needed to watch their ults and the usages of them because they were all over the place.
Yeah, it looks like we got a few player swaps coming in from Sachem. We got 4 subs coming in. We will announce them as soon as we see them on. And we're going to be going into Temple of Anubis, potentially the final map of this series. If Sachem is able to get a strong push on this, they might just take this series 3-0. And Bayshore is really just looking for the reverse sweep at this point.
Yes,
Are
now
they
we
going to be able
have
to
4
complete
subs
this?
coming in from Sachem. That's going to be definitely something that I want to see how it's going to play out.
Well, they're keeping their core 2 of Deadly Kitten and Z in there, so they still have that DPS and they still have Deadly Kitten on the support. Deadly Kitten, especially coming into this, was a name that I personally was looking forward to seeing along with I Need Healing. Those 2 players being very, very strong contenders in terms of scouting potential and just overall gameplay. So it's good to see both players popping off, especially, but some unknown names coming into this, Z and stuff like that, popping off really hard, especially to someone who has never really seen these names before.
For such lower levels, though, now you're doing very well and they're performing, over my abilities.
Yeah.
Now, of course, they're using their ults very well. Their ults are going, those combos that they've been popping off are insane. Now, they just have to watch their ults.
Yeah.
Bayshore, if they watch their ults, they can do very well. They just have to watch their ults, and I believe Bayshore can come back from it.
Yeah. Well, we are moving on to 2CP, which is definitely, at least in my opinion, some of the most unfavored map types 2CP, a lot of times. So looking back at the past 2 matches, how do you think Bayshore can hold, even try to go for a first point hold here in Temple of Anubis?
Mainly ult, watching their ults. That was their biggest thing on this map. They have to just watch their ults. I feel like if they watch their ults, that can it could make or break the whole game. You know,
Yeah.
they were sometimes it was just wasted. It could have been much better, and they didn't have it. So they definitely have to watch that. If they watch that, I think Bayshore can definitely come back from it.
Definitely. We might see if these swaps are going to be able to help them with the ult economy, because ult economy not only is down to the player, but it's also due to whoever's shot calling, whoever's target calling. The shot caller of the team is the one that's going to have to dictate who uses what ults when.
We have our players currently getting ready, logging on, our new subs that are going to be coming on, and we're going to see how it goes from there.
Yeah, we're going to see exactly if these swaps are going to be able to push the fight in Bayshore's favor, as Bayshore, again, is trying to stay alive in this. If they're able to take the win on Temple of Anubis, it'll push this to a map 4. And we'll see exactly what happens, just having the players sub in, getting a few subs in. We'll see exactly what happens.
What's going on?
Oh, what's up, what's up,
What's happening, everybody? It's the Jacket Man. Ignore the name of body. I'm the Jacket Man.
Yeah, he is now Daniel.
I am now Daniel.
He is
the
now
Jacket
Daniel.
Man.
Daniel the Jacket Man.
Shout out to Frisky. I know you was in chat. What's up, bro? Saw your messages.
So you were watching right next to us what exactly was going down. What do you think was wrong for Bayshore?
You know, honestly, I've been watching these teams for a while. You know what I'm saying? We've done a lot of events with them, and I see them play all the time. You know, there was a few people that weren't playing. I know from the Bayshore side, who are some pretty you know, staple players on their team. So you know, I think we'll see what happens with all the subs and stuff like that.
We'll see exactly who gets subbed
the
in.
changes
Yeah.
that happen, and you know, hey man, you can't count them out.
No, you can't count them out. You know, Bayshore, I remember at least the one event that I went to, they do have enough players to be able to form one roster or two rosters.
Yeah.
So it might just be the fact that, you know, down 0-2, they're going to bring in their heavy hitters and see if they can go for the reverse sweep.
Right now, I'm getting all the comments of the AirPod.
All right. I'm gonna be honest. There is a thing that we always say before games in NYT, the JV team, that we always say. Whenever we're getting ours out, we're always like AirPods in, because one of my players does own AirPods, and he always wears them. I'm not gonna throw him under the bus, you know, Alex. But you know, it is AirPods.
I mean, look, I've been getting a lot for it.
Hey man, you know, AirPods win until the black ones come out. Then you know, you gotta swap to the black ones.
I'll just paint mine. If he doesn't have it through the gauge.
Yeah, I don't know how that works. Can't tell you. As you can tell, I don't have gauges in. Starting to see some swaps in from Sachem. So now we have Apollo, Z, Deadly Kitten and Z were the only two that really stayed in, but we now have Apollo coming in, Crazy Zora, Dave the Brave, and Ghost. So 4 new players in for Sachem. But they are keeping that core healer and that core DPS in.
If I'm not mistaken, I believe Bayshore is getting a full sub.
Yeah, it does look like a full team is coming in for Bayshore. So that's a matter. I don't know, maybe. I wonder if we did.
I think he might be playing.
Well, caster turn player. Let's see exactly what happens.
He might be playing.
I'm unless you need me to. I'm doing the announcements. Come on.
Alrighty. So the Jacket Man is out. It was a pleasure. I'm gonna go back to doing the camera work. I hope you guys enjoy it. Awesome.
Alright.
You're doing great.
I was just gonna wait a little while until we get all the swaps coming in and see exactly what happens. So we have yet another player from Bayshore subbing in for the commentating role. How's it going? How's it going?
That's going good.
Going good? If you want to just introduce yourself to the stream. NYT.
I was what's it called? I was BSH's Boyle. I was playing in the last match on the Bayshore.
Yeah. Keeping an eye on your team, especially and just in general. Since you were playing in the last match, what do you think was your kind of Achilles heel that match? It's kind of a tough showing, you know. You guys had some pretty bright moments, but it was definitely something that you know, Sachem must have dialed in and figured out and able to exploit.
I think out of everyone we've ever played against, we've played against Sachem the most by far. I think I remember Sachem was one of like our first public match, and that was what, years ago? We've done so many since then. Against Sachem, I really feel like they're tanks. They have that one comp that they can do so well that we don't really have anything to counter. So we've been trying to find something to counter it. We used to, I'm not like saying anything about Sachem, but we used to normally beat Sachem until they got this comp, and I think like 1 or 2 new people were masters. So now we're trying to figure out a way to beat them. So it's kind of like a back and forth between our teams. They win a couple, and a couple.
It's funny because it's always stopping, despite the fact that our teams seem to be really even.
Yeah, definitely even compared to what I watched a while ago on one of the Waypoint events. It was kind of the same situation during that event, especially, and at least at that point, I was there with a few NYIT players, and we were doing a little bit of scouting, and we were told, oh, this is our quote-unquote B team that's in right now. We're bringing in our A team now, so if that's the call now or if that was the call before, see exactly what happens. But we'll see exactly as we're waiting for Bayshore team to once again join us. Yeah. So they kept Deadly Kitten and Z, and they're bringing in Apollo, Crazy Zora, Dave the Brave, and Ghost. So those 4 are coming in for the opposing 4 that were swapped out. And maybe they have something planned for Temple of Anubis that they didn't run on the other 2 maps. Temple of Anubis. It's kind of a throw in the park again. You do have the ability to be able to jump into the goats if you really feel like it, but you also, thinking back to the fun days of Overwatch, you had things like the Shetland Pony, you had that Orisa Hog combo, you had stuff like that, or even a Symmetra. Being able to reposition with the teleporter on Temple of Anubis, it's really all up in the air. Attack, you're really set for 2 comps. You're set for goats, you're set for the Rhine Zarya, or you're set for dive. So it really just depends on how you approach this point. And again, 2CP, once you push on to the first point, you have it. It's the second point that's really the problem. The spawn is there.
Every time we play Temple of Anubis, it almost always
So it really just depends exactly what each team is going to pull out. Again, we're just waiting for Bayshore to be ready.
I can hear you talk. All right, turn everyone up at these. Turn everyone up at Go. All right, Brandy.
Again, just a crazy shout out to NYCB Live and anyone from Malloy, NYXL, and pretty much everybody in the background that's able to make events like this happen. Especially, I'm going to be honest, when I was in high school from 2011 to 2015, esports, especially high school esports, was something that I never thought about. So it's really awesome to be able to see some high schools, like some high schools that I would compete against in normal sports, being able to sit behind a keyboard and mouse and play at such a high level.
Normal sports? What sports did you play?
I did play baseball. I did go to William Floyd High School, go Colonials. When I would play baseball, going up against Bayshore, going up against Sachem, Sagamore, Syosset, all these crazy teams. Yep. That's how it is. But now, just the ability to see high schools play esports. Maybe this is the next, NCAA or just high school sport that's going to come into this.
This could be the first.
Hey guys, while we're setting up right now.
Okay, some shade thrown at the high school itself.
As I was watching,
I can't say anything. My school is only known for football, and that's about it. So we're gonna get some swaps coming in from Bayshore.
Watch how often.
Yep, exactly. I'm pretty sure if I were to go to the high school now and be like, hey, you guys want to start an esports team? Be like, what? But we're football. What are you talking about? We're just football. It'd be awesome in a couple of years, seeing a lot more high school teams come up, especially the college teams too. Coming.
I think 2 days ago.
I wasn't there sadly, but just one of the main things that some people might end up looking for. If they see esports, there's schools like NYIT, NYU, Malloy, schools like that offering scholarships and stuff for esports. So it's definitely the future. It's definitely the future of just sports and entertainment in general, just to have these teams. And it looks like we're going to start getting the Bayshore players into the lobby. And for everybody. So far, we have Grassy Abyss, Roxu, Alpha, Joey Raz, and we're waiting on 2 more.
Someone's mic is in their nose.
We're going to work out some audio issues and stuff like that as well.
fellas. Awesome. Yep. All right, you guys working together. There you go. All right. So
It's always fun trying to set stuff up, you
who are
know.
we missing?
It's definitely no different in collegiate esports. I'll tell you that much. Us setting up lobbies and stuff like that. It's definitely not different. Jason Plays is now in the room.
Jason is usually our tank.
There you go.
No, wait, wait,
Clear off, clear off.
We're good tech-wise.
Joey
Thank you.
is, I think he usually flexes. I usually play remember team set. Randy is Alpha. Daniel, I think he was up in June before. He's Frag 2.
Yep.
And Chewy, he's actually really good DPS.
All right, everybody.
It looks like we're all in. We're just waiting for ours to come out from both sides.
Rasmus, though, I think he was one of the first people on the team. He's good.
So we got a few veteran players, a few semi-veteran players, and it looks like it's going to be an interesting match, especially with the fact that Bayshore is just going to be showing us something completely different this match.
Hopefully. It will be. I want to see what's different with Sagem's team.
Yeah, definitely. They kept 2, so we know we're going to still have Deadly Kitten most likely on that main support, but I would love to see her on her off-tank role, as that's what I kind of know her for. As we're getting into game, into Temple of Anubis, let's see who's attacking and defending.
Because with their tank stuff, when she was off tank, it's the part that we did that with KP.
Yeah.
Because it cannot play.
Yeah, definitely Deadly Kitten is one of the names that I was looking for when I was coming in here, known for her Diva, for her Zarya, stuff like that. I've seen her Diva before, and as a Diva main, bow down, honestly. So she's a very strong off-tank, especially on the other side too. She may not be in this time around, but I Need Healing is also another big name thrown around both between my own personal team and through the collegiate scene as well, as a very strong DPS. So we're going to see exactly where both teams roll out, as it looks like Bayshore is going to be on the defense. And there it is, Deadly Kitten on the off-tank, finally getting to stretch her wings and see if that Diva and Reinhardt are going to be coming out. And it looks like they are opting into a GOATS defense, which is something we do see on Temple of Anubis, both on attack and defense. And it looks like attack, I don't know if we're going to see a couple of swaps, but they are going for the Rein Zarya, Grab Dragon combo with a Genji instead of a dedicated hit scan. So it looks like we're going to have pause coming through to see exactly a little bit of issues, some issues in the background, see exactly what's going on.
Deadly Kitten's going Diva.
Yeah, definitely excited to see her on probably one of her best, if not her best hero, in my opinion. And just going over this attack for Bayshore.
I always see that important that Mercy, because if they can get those reses, basically, they go from having
Nando, do a ready check.
Do a ready check. Some of the tanks.
Yeah.
They can get all that back in seconds.
Well, that's also could be an Achilles heel for Sachem, as soon as the Mercy goes down, if they're able to catch the Mercy out of position, the res is gone.
So that's the big thing that we missed in our game.
So it's just a matter of how Bayshore is going to be able to work around this.
You see, even when they changed their players, they didn't change their comp, which is very not usually seen.
Well, I mean, for sure, definitely, they haven't run the GOATs up to this point, so let's see exactly how this works for Bayshore and for Sachem. And it looks like they're going to be running out with the Shimada brothers. No swaps coming in, and dual main healers, so let's see exactly how this goes down. Very tanky, like, survivable comp coming from Bayshore as they're going to be pushing in. See exactly which route they take in. And it looks like they're going to be opting in for the left room push, and the Sonic Arrow comes out of Bayshore, and see exactly who's going to go down first. Big Purple coming in.
They're not letting themselves get through that gap, and letting themselves get a choke.
Big Purple coming in, and it looks like Deadly Kitten's going to be able to secure one, and the tank line starts pushing forward, splitting the team in two, and it looks like it's a cleanup.
Just send it straight through, and the entire team turns around.
Looks like a late stagger on the Rhine. If they're just going to be able to die, it's better to just die than to walk back to spawn. Are they going to be able to get him before he comes in? They got in, but they're able to swap it out for Z. And it looks like the attacking team does have spawn advantage, so they might be able to capitalize on this late pick. But definitely, Rez comes in. Looks like they're back to a 6-man, so they know, Bayshore knows that they do not have the Rez, and it looks like Deadly Kitten still isn't in her mech. So they do have an advantage, it's just a matter of how they capitalize on it. Sleep comes in for Ana. Looks like we have another fight coming in as Dave the Brave drops, and it looks like this Genji is going to be able to start capitalizing on the space created. They're going to opt in for the left room push and see exactly. This is go time for them, and hopefully they can get in. It looks like they're going to opt on the fight on point as Alpha drops dangerously low. It looks like they're committing into the fight. The Ryan comes in, and it looks like they're going to be able to burn him down. Are they going to be able to get it? It looks like Alpha's going to be able to charge in. Big Purple again coming in on the main tank, and it looks like Nano is going to be committed, and Grab is going to be committed. Shatter as a counter, and it looks like, let's see exactly who's going to drop first. Big Fire Strike coming in from Joey Raz. And it looks like they're going to actually be able to clean up. Late kill onto Alpha might have been just a distraction. It looks like they're going to be able to secure this first point. Big ults coming out from both teams, but it looks like Bayshore was able to capitalize more on their ults. Still retaining 2 ults. They still have the Dragon. They have the Shimada combo. See exactly what goes down. They're building towards that grab.
Very close to getting both the grab and the nano dragon.
So pretty much just a matter of how they can work around this. One of the big problems that Bayshore had last fight, or last 2 games, was ult economy. So they're going to be able to push in and keep their ult economy alive. Ryan dropping dangerously low as they're still trucking forward, seeing if they're going to be able to capitalize on this. Shatter misses once again on this. It looks like they're going to be able to push in. That's 2 down for Sachem. Deadly Kitten looks like they're going to line up for... Oh, no, gets slept. She was lining up for the nuke. That might be the end game for Sachem. Looks like they're going to be able to start cleaning up. Mercy dangerously low, and that's it. Here comes the nuke. Are they going to be able to get more than one? It looks like Chewie gets dropped down, and it looks like that might be the flipping point, but Grab comes in, catches everyone. The Shatter whiffs, and it looks like they're going to be able to get... Oh, counter grab.
I think that a lot of people very underestimate the Moira.
Deadly's going to be able to pick up 1, but the Dragon is out for Alpha, picking up 3. Z's going to be able to take out a counterpart, and they're going to be able to see if they're...
Very good.
See if they're going to be able to pick this up down. Are they going to be able to flip this? Looks like they're actually going to be able to push back. No tick taken for Bayshore, as honestly, all those ults committed, late kill onto Joey Raz, but all those ults committed for nothing. Again, it looked very clean for Bayshore coming into this. And in all honesty, I don't know what went wrong. I think it was because of the fact that we saw a lot of players off of Sachem very low, but there was no target prioritization, and everyone was just kind of fighting on their own. So that might have been, that spelled pretty much disaster for Sachem coming in.
It doesn't seem like they have an active stockpile.
I don't know if they do or don't, but it looks like they're going to have to get that as the Ryan gets slept, and it looks like Grav is coming in, and Dragon is coming in as well. Joey Raz able to get a kill with the Fire Strike. See if they're going to be able to push in. They're committing right to ult. Joey Raz gets Apollo. Commits the Shatter and is able to get the Ana on the Shatter. Looks like they're going to start cleaning up. Nuke coming in again. Gets 3! Deadly Kitten with the nuke once again. Her signature hero, honestly, showing it in this defense. They're going to get the res in. It looks like it's just cleanup time once again for Sachem. I think just the fact that Bayshore is not able to break through this mega meat wall of goats. I think that the call on the fact that they might not have a main shot caller might be right, in all honesty, because it looks like the team is very split, committing ults when they shouldn't be, and they're pretty disorganized. And not, again, the only way to break through goats is either you go all in or you're able to slowly push in. It looks like, again, Z is with the emotes. I don't know if Sachem's going to get a little cocky and see exactly what goes down, as the blade is up and so is Dragon. They might wait for this Graviton, 89% on Jason. The sleep comes with big Shatter coming in, and it looks like, again, they're going to be able to clean up. And looks like that's the end of the push. And
however, they do now, when they all get back, looks like they're going to have Grab Dragon. So that's one.
They do have Grab Dragon and a few ults available, but they do have support ults on Sachem's side, and they might be able to hold on to this.
So long as Chew can get
Yeah, pretty much. They're going to want to force the Sound Barrier. The Sound Barrier can't really 100% eat up a Dragon damage. It'll start eating away at the barrier, as Graviton is online for Z, and see exactly what happens. It's 2 minutes 23 seconds. They still have a few Grab comes in. Dragon from the opposing team comes in. It looks like the nuke once again is coming in. 4 for Deadly Kitten. Absolutely insane, on a tear on a signature hero, as Chewie is caught out from behind and just gets taken out. I don't know why. Again, yeah, I don't know why Chewie committed the Dragon into that. Maybe it was a counter.
I don't know why they're not doing it. Okay, they're doing it right now. Or they can easily break through.
Well, even at 100 charge, just the grab, big shatter coming in, one gets taken down. It looks like nope,
Not nano.
not nanoed, and it looks like Crazy is going to be able to get everyone in. So a little bit of miscommunication again coming out of Bayshore's side. It might be again the lack of that target or shot caller on their side. As honestly, Sachem is setting themselves up real pretty for a very nice second point hold. A minute 19 left on the clock. Z just raining 100% damage down. I would love to see what the average energy is on Z, honestly. I feel like he has 100% energy every fight. They're starting to take a very forward defense.
And like we said before, all the time we play temporary. He's getting
every single fight he has a grab. As a grab comes in, catches the entire team.
He gets more than 10% onto his head.
Looks Deadly Kitten's going to be able to take down one, pushing up, and Big Purple coming in from Ghost, and it looks like that's it.
Take out the entire team.
And that's what I'm saying, just the fact that they're able to capitalize on one of her best heroes, along with Z, usually DPS, now on that Zarya role, which is something we usually see. And again, the BM from Sachem, it's absolutely insane how much BM is coming out of this team. It's fun to see, but very... No, it's definitely not typical, so they're definitely riding the high horse here, 20 seconds in. Well, let's see exactly what happens. 16 seconds. This is all or nothing as Grassy Abyss is going to drop very low. They have the Shatter up and running, but it looks like Z is going to be able to take out 2, if not 3 on Broxu. See if they're not going to be able to push this in. Nano coming in on the Zarya. Another Graviton. Chewy's in on the Reaper. Going to get burned down with another Nano. Chewy taking down 2. Is he going to be able to stay alive for them to be able to actually push back in? Dave the Brave is able to take her down. Dragon coming in, takes down 1. Deadly Kitten is about to take on another, and let's see if exactly going to be a Big Purple coming in. Sachem going to be able to capitalize. Sachem gets a huge shatter, being able to take down 1. Rez comes in, and it looks like it's just going to be cleanup time. Are they going to be able to get back on time? They're coming in, but they're not coming in fast enough, and that is it. So it looks like Sachem is going to be able to hold point B. Was there even a tick taken for Bayshore? No tick taken.
I feel like with their ults, they tried to do like trickling them in, while Sachem went for more of a all at once.
Sachem knew that they were able to generate ults very quickly.
Especially for how much time that they had. If they got all their ults and used them and got a tick, that would have worked for them. But they felt they were too conservative, so they just ended up not getting any gain out of their ult.
I think there's a big problem, like, at least in this case, I think one of the big problems is just the fact that,
it seems to be no central right. Oh, they're doing a switch.
might want to pause up here, because I think we're doing a...
The people are switching in. It does seem like they understood the central fort.
Well, I don't... It's very something we don't usually see, mid-match swap in.
The 2 players they're bringing in are very good for shot.
Yeah, so they identified it, and, you know, whether this is something we see all the time or not, and rule set and what or not.
Just make sure you guys talk at the mic.
This is funny because what's it called on their team? They have the Bostic brothers, the Garcia brothers, and my brother. I'm starting to think we should try and do that next time. We should try and make a brother comp because the Garcias are twins, the Bostics are twins. I mean, me and my brother are not twins, but that's because he's.
Well, let's see if this exactly fixes everything up. As again, this is not something it's not something we normally see with mid-match swaps. So this might shake it up a little bit. And I think they might have identified the problem, the fact that that central shot caller just wasn't there.
Dom has experience being a captain, Ryan has experience being a captain, so these are both players who thrive off of communication on their teams. So I really think that they're addressing the problem, they're doing a lot of good comebacks, and especially with what's called Ryan was the coach. So if he's coaching, he can also talk to them while they're after the match to give them a big rundown of what they did wrong. So I really feel like we do a good job of coming back from, say, losing or coming from these weaknesses like Ulticom.
Well, you just got to make sure, because Bayshore is definitely down at this point, and unless they can force the draw at this point, actually, no, it's pretty much do or die.
Okay, we're good, guys.
At this point right now, as looks like we're getting R's out from both sides, and the pause is going to unpause coming into this. So let's see exactly what we're pausing again.
I
Yeah, we'll keep following.
Well, yes, but actually, no.
Do we have some swaps coming in for Sachem as well?
Oh.
Looks like Deadly Kitten might be jumping out of this. Surprising enough, I understand maybe Bayshore with their swaps and trying to get a central shot caller in, but the Sachem line, especially dropping someone as strong as Deadly Kitten for someone else, you know, maybe they have something in their hands that, yeah, it all depends on who they're bringing in, but that diva for sure was honestly some of the
ZCC combo together, they really complement each other.
It's definitely something that they look forward to. It was great, at least for the time being, to see. No, she's still in, but to see the diva coming in, and honestly, one of her signature heroes, a hero that she's known for. So it's definitely nice.
They sure seems to be discussing heroes they're going to use as much time. And it's like we're going to find out.
Well, so we're getting R's on both sides. Because of the swaps, we got to be careful because of the fact that they're not swapping accounts. So they're using the person that they're replacing, they're using their settings. So whether it's the fact that they all run the same exact settings or not, but this is when Sense and DTI and stuff like that start playing a major role. And this might end up being a shot in the foot, actually, for Bayshore to see exactly how this works. As let's take a look at the comps. It looks like they're going for a 3-2-1 on the side of Bayshore.
It looks like Ryan has taken over Jason plays, and Dominic has taken over.
The main thing is that they identified the fact that the goats on Sachem's side is definitely something to be geared. So having the Reaper in especially is one big way to counter it, but if they're not going to be able to follow up on all this Reaper damage or even the purples coming out of Joey, I don't know if they're going to be able to hold this. 3 minutes 57 seconds on the clock as Sachem is going to start pushing in with pretty much the same exact comp they had before, opting for a a lot of damage coming down as Z drops pretty low and Apollo starts getting healed up. We're going again to the right-hand side and the charge comes in. Bubble. Z able to take down Jason. Let's see exactly what happens. Lucio gets pinned. See exactly what happens. Deadly Kitten in the middle of the enemy team, but it looks like she's going to be taking out Chewy, and it looks like Crazy Zora and Z are going to be able to follow up on that. And it looks like it's not going to be enough to be able to hold them back, as this might be a very quick take from Sachem. And if they take this, they're going to have almost 6 minutes, if not 6 minutes, to be able to push point B, and they only have one tick to take. This is a do-or-die situation for Bayshore. They either have to force the draw and pretty much lose it out either way. This is just either going to be able to force the draw or get completely 3-0 swept, as it looks like Deadly still is not in her mech, so that might be the go condition for Sachem, or for Bayshore.
Especially when you see BM, you do see teams getting a lot of confidence. Right now, it's such. This has happened a couple of times where teams get.
Big Shatter coming in, knocking down the supports. 2 kills from the Deadly Kitten bomb. She's been able to pick up a third. The Shatter comes in for Bayshore, but it looks like it's not going to be enough as the tick clocks down, and that is it, ladies and gentlemen. Sachem completes the 3-0 sweep against Bayshore. Play of the game, man. Honestly, just handed to Deadly Kitten. Honestly, I came in today wanting to see the diva, and it did not disappoint. Honestly, amazing play from both Deadly Kitten and from the entirety of Sachem as a whole. As they were considered, at least in a lot of the collegiate community and some of the community that watches them, as sort of the underdogs coming into this fight. Bayshore known as one of the top teams overall, and just the score might not show it, but in all honesty, all the fights were relatively close for the most part. I think definitely when it comes down,
Let's go for changes in that last match. Couple do this with how quick we went. They had no time to adjust it to them because those were some pretty good players who got put in.
Yeah, I think it was just because of the fact that the mid-match swap not only just threw in a loop for Bayshore themselves, but I think that's something to think back, that they just might want to commit to 2CP with that comp off the beginning. But that looks like that's. Alright, so that looks like that's going to be it for us here at NYCB, as once again Sachem is able to take that 3-0. We are going to be having a trophy presentation shortly after things are wrapped up here. But honestly, it was great to see both teams take on a pretty strong pretty strong defense and offense. As like once again, Sachem takes a 3-0.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, so that's pretty much it from us too. And again, I'm Ezekiel Guadarican 141, and this is Kyle Champlin. And we'll see you guys later. Thanks for coming.
Hello fans, I want to thank you all for coming out today and participating in the first ever high school esports invitational Overwatch competition. On behalf of NYCB Live, home of the Nassau Veterans Memorial Coliseum, BSC Global, Next Gen Esports, as well as Waypoint Gaming, we would like to present the second place trophy to Bayshore High School.
Small guys in the back, small guys up front. Yeah, that means you're ending.
No, I want to make sure you get the
Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze.
And now, for your first place champions of the day, Sachem.
I think we just gotta
Wait, guys. Looking up here. All right, now wait.
Okay.
Thank you all again for coming out and for all of those who participated.
Guys, come on, we only
All right, guys, from everyone here at Waypoint Gaming, we'd like to thank you guys so much for tuning out to the Strong Island Overwatch High School Invitational. And again, everybody have a fantastic night. Thank you guys so much for tuning out. See you around, guys.